Hey everybody, welcome to the Jankyard. We are here for another exciting stream of the Ashes International League. This time it is round 4, and we will be watching Delementary versus hmaster. Yeah, it's just a cool Wednesday afternoon, at least where I am, and excited to check out a little bit of Ashes on my day off. Hopefully, you guys can either join live or watch later on this evening and have a good time seeing a good game. Last time we watched Carl versus Evie Fritz, I believe, and that was a pretty exciting and interesting match. All of the AIL matches, I think the thing that's the most fun is that everyone is incentivized to run different Phoenixborn, so we tend to see different builds across each of the matches, which is cool. And yeah, otherwise, if you pop in, let me know how you're doing. If not, and you catch this later, let me know your thoughts, anything you guys want to see, want to hear, or things you don't like. I'll take critical or constructive criticism. I know that I've been trying to change a few things just in terms of how things are displayed and making sure I don't screw up on the audio as much. Let me get the game over in your view here, because it looks like we are going to be ready to go. And yeah, this is going to be fun. Let me know what you guys have been up to this week. I've had a super busy week, and we'll continue to have a busy rest of the week and weekend. I'm going camping tomorrow. Was in Wonderland, which is a Canadian amusement park, last Friday. Let me just let them know they're ready. And then at the cottage, and then at some cousin's place on a farm. And it's just been, yeah, a lot of cool road trips with the kids, a lot of good times, pretty great weather. So things are good. And we have hmaster on Herald with 8 Divine, very cool, 1 Nature, 1 Sympathy, versus Dell on Rowan with 5 Divine, 3 Nature, 2 Ceremonial. Very cool stuff. It's nice to see the Red Rains Divine really pushing people into heavy Divine. I'm thinking we'll probably or possibly see a Lioness, Lightbringers almost certainly, and then maybe a Stag. I'm not sure if Rowan would necessarily. I guess, you know what, you kind of put that fork decision, like kill the ally and let him, get out the exhume ability if it's a good one. If it's something like Rising Horde, maybe that's what the 2 ceremonial are for. On the Herald side, it's really tough. There's so many things you could do. Sympathy is probably going to indicate a Sonic in play. The Nature is probably for Ice Trap or Wrath. But it's really hard to say what he's running for books. So this is going to be fun, because I have not seen either of these lists in play. I haven't been watching too many casual matches in the last week, so I don't know if they've been testing them or not. Oof! Wow. hmaster gets a beautiful roll, not a single basic. I don't know how many power sides he needs, but that's a great roll. And Dell, on the other hand, he rolls 5 basic, which, is not ideal, especially since it seems to be he probably needs 2 Nature, I'm guessing. If he's running something like an Old Salt instead of a Rising Horde, then he doesn't need the other ceremonial. But this is going to be interesting to see. Yeah. So anyway, it's a lot different when no one's in chat and I'm just here talking to myself. But I guess that just leaves me more focus on the game. So, as many matches tend to start, we've got a glory into. Oh, sorry, not light swordsman, piercing light in this case. That's a cool little twist. We've seen a lot of glory into light swordsman because it's just such a good 2 dice expenditure, especially for heavy and divine. I mean, light swordsman puts a lot of pressure for guarding, or it can easily clean up a lot of these 2 lifers that are going around these days. And it's also nice with Herald in general because you also get the stock ability, so you can, depending on how you play it, you can get a lot of value. We've got Del on Glory as well, but they're both playing Piercing Light strategies. This is cool. Okay, this is going to be a fun match. I like to see this. Piercing Light has typically not been very good. I don't even think it's even really been played since shortly after it came out because it was just so hard to get the focus that you really want to start putting on the damage. But now with Glory being able to tutor it, it's really nice. We've got a Shield Mage and Stag Mount book coming down on Herald's side. This is very cool because Shield Mage is another one that you don't tend to see as much. So I like it. I like the fact that now he's really protecting his ability to put down his mounts. That must be a core part of his strategy, especially if he's going with Piercing Light plays. You want to keep those buffs there so that you can then swing and get the value. I like it. Okay, we've got a mirror match going on. Other than the Shield Mage, we've got another Shining Stag Mount book coming down. So that means that I'm guessing there's at least one more ally. He did meditate up the other ceremonial earlier. So that is, potentially an indication that he's running Rising Horde, although it could also be Widows, just to get some units on the board. Rowan's issue is just to avoid getting clogged if he runs too many sort of double units early. But okay, we've got going wide strategy. Terra Herder coming down from the Herald. He's got 2 cards left. 2 dice are going to be for the Stag. That leaves 4 dice. We know one of the cards is a Piercing Light. So I'm guessing it is a Sonic, based off of his meditations, it's a Sonic and Piercing Light left in his hands. And then the Mount. Del it's a little harder to say what he has other than the Piercing Light on his side. He chooses to mount up the Gloria, and buff the Mount. So this is an interesting thing because, and Del plays Nature's Wrath. Okay. Boom. That was nice. Very cool. I like that. That was very neat. Just side action mount and then blow away the field, and also leave it a little trickier in terms of options for mounting, because now you have to mount the Shield Mage, but it's not exactly part of the plan. I mean, then the Shield Mage is not providing you the protection that you want for your other unit, which is likely going to be the Sonic. So yeah, that was a nice Wrath round 1. And he did it before committing virtually anything to the board, which is cool. I'm guessing both players probably end up playing Piercing Light next or soon. Especially, at least, Huntmaster will want to play it before putting the mount down. And Del probably wants to do it soon if he plans on attacking, or at least if he intends on pressuring. Okay, so there you go. I'm I'm enjoying this round one so far. All right, there we go. Sonic is in. Question is, does he play the piercing light at the same time? I believe it's a side action, since I don't play it very often. Oh, it's a main. Okay, that's another part of the problem with piercing light being a main action. It just makes it a little slower than a lot of the other books. All right, I think that you guys should be able to see the discards pretty easily. Let me know if I'm at 110% zoom in, which I think fixed the problem with not being able to watch easily on mobile if you're just chilling at home. But if you need, I can probably increase the card size as well and just get it a little bit tighter. Although then it kind of gets, depending on the match with alterations, it might be a little bit unwieldy, but I think this is a good balance right now. All right, so we've got Dell playing Piercing Light and Meditating Discovery from their deck to bring up a frog. So he's thinking he probably wants to ping the Shield Mage and then not give any opportunity for, or at least threaten no opportunity for mounting. The other option is if Huntmaster were to swing the Sonic, then he can at least clear up the Sonic with the Frog Ping afterwards. So that's a nice meditation. I like it. And he's also played the Piercing Light. There comes the other Piercing Light. So it's interesting. I'm not sure what else he's holding in his hands. I wonder if maybe he has a plan to use the divine power. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fester, ping Fester. So he started a Fester and a Wrath. All right. Nice. That is double removal. You don't see AoE and hard removal. Okay. That's pretty cool. That sort of hard counters this Herald. And Herald's gonna have to mount the Shield Mage or he doesn't have anything. Very cool. Right on. Um, what is this last card? Is it a discovery? Is he planning on the mount to die and then replay Gloria? Okay. So, Master, Huntmaster, hmaster, um, does mount up the Shield Mage. You got to put something on board. He gets the buff so that Piercing Light is a threat now. And he's just going to swing. And I think you just take the trade here. You take a damage, but you trade off the unit. Okay, he's not going to. He's going to take the 3 damage. Fine. And then probably counter swing to put the pressure down. Oh, he's got a Lioness. Okay, so you could just do a buffed Linus. Right on. So now he basically threatens either 4 damage by making Herald Guard and then hitting the Lioness that will get the piercing overkill damage for 1. Or he loses the Stag Mount for free, takes a damage, and then gets hit for another 3. Actually, now that he's doing it the Wing Linus approach first, what am I thinking? He just gets 4 damage for free without having to even trigger the guard. So there you go. Thinking about the ordering makes a lot of sense. Oh, no. Why'd you do that? No. You missed a point of damage there. I think he was just more focused on removing, but slight mistake. He's going top of round. Maybe he thinks having that divine power is going to be important, but I mean, at most you'd swing for. I don't think you want to swing with both, but you could hit for 5. I mean, the thing is, you don't know what you would have rolled. You could have done 4 damage, and then you hit at least for 2. You're up to 7. Almost the same. Is gonna swing with just the mount, I'm guessing, just before it dies. And then maybe you have a blood chains for whatever comes down. Yeah, swinging for 2. Okay. He could also have another wrath. And if he has another wrath, then that's another good reason to swing now. So hmaster is definitely on the back foot as far as coming into round 2, but it is Herald, and as we have seen before, and even in a Del versus a Herald matchup, it is something to always be concerned or careful with, because you never know when Herald can just clean up your board, really take control, and then once he's got at least 1 or 2 units on top of you, it is very hard to make anything stick. So we've got a Shepherd coming down to bring back the Terror Herder. And he's going to play... Sorry. Del's going to play a second copy of Piercing Light, which is really nice that he has it, because now any attack, from these Lionesses is at least 2 damage from cleaning up a kill, which is really nice. And then the Stag Mounts threaten 3, for the guard, but it also threatens 2 if you actually manage to remove something. So I think 2 Piercing Light is kind of when you start to have your engine. 3 is obviously great, but 1 is not enough. 2 is, if you can at least get the second copy and you're 5 damage ahead in game, that can really put pressure. So I'm liking this setup so far. We've got another Shield Mage coming down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because the Shield Mage is just going to get eaten. Maybe he didn't think about that. Can't stop the Linus. I don't know if that was just to buy him some time to mount the stag on the Shepherd of Lost Souls. I don't know, but he's got his own Linus book, which is pretty cool. So he didn't start the Linus book. He opted for the Shield Mage and Sonic Swordsman. I wonder if he would... I think he might have been better off if he had done the Linus, but tricky to say. Then you would have had to rearrange what you were aiming for. I mean, he went for the sort of wide swing and then got caught out with the Wrath. Oh, okay. So now we've got another book coming down. Butterfly Monk for Del. Gives him more endgame threat. Sort of sticks around and also can help him, if he needs to, get the discoveries on board. But it makes sense that he didn't start it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I mean, his start was really just a very good first 5. He chooses to ping the Shepherd. It's interesting that he... I guess... You know what? I like this play. So you could have just killed the Shield Mage. That's an option. But giving your opponent a bad choice of mounting the stag and then immediately killing it with the lioness, or even if they mount and swing and you trade and you're just like, yeah, whatever. You're forcing your opponent to spend the dice. So in this case, they put down the Terra and mount, which is now a little bit trickier. But either way, this no, there's a manual mode going on. I think what he meant to do was put the dice power on the Terra hatchling so that you get the ping value when you swing. And you can't swing at the mount, so you have to swing at the shield mage if you intend to actually clear this up. But very interesting. So it'll be now. Is there going to be an ally coming down, or is it he's going to put the second wing lioness? The issue is that hmaster doesn't really want to swing out because he's only got 4 dice left, and if Del just sits pretty and then counter swings, he can clear up the board, or he could just hit for, I don't know, at least 6 damage, 7 plus whatever he has in hand. Yeah. So you can't really swing out. You're just trying to stabilize. He's got Blessing of Lightning in the deck. Okay. It makes sense when you're on 5 Divine. And he's really taking that frog up to heart. He's got another frog. Probably using this one on Butterfly Monk, but I wonder if he's also just keeping the threat of swinging out there. I mean, the issue is that he's going to have to at least guard the Terra Hatchling. And the thing is, I mean, if Harold wants, he can just mark the lioness, swing the Terra Hatchling. He cleans up the Butterfly Monk and kills the lioness all in one fell swoop. So I think in that case, you take out the shield mage, and then you're okay receiving 3 on the back end, and you have plenty of play left. You're not overcommitting anything. Ooh, Clashing Tempers. Okay, now it's getting spicy. It's going to be a very big swing. Kill off the mount, maybe. Exhaust the Butterfly Monk. And then swing for 4. Fire it. Goes down on the Terra. Yep. Pings off the Stag Mount. Exhaust the Butterfly. And we should see it. Ice adapts the Shield Mage. Okay. Yep. That's a good play. And just opts to play the Linus. Okay, cool. Really just putting things down. Now, it's too bad. Well, actually, in theory, Del could have a Meteor and just, largely clean up the board, including his own, but, he still has 2 books and 4 or 5 dice left after that. Plays the Glory, and I'm guessing it's a mount here. Oh. You know what I haven't seen? So we're seeing Piercing Light. I haven't seen too much Radiant Light being played. I think I've seen maybe 1 game with it. And that's a card that I'm surprised isn't used by somebody, at least, to really buff up those units, even just in a sort of go tall type of build, or actually synergize it with Piercing Light, which I think was the intention. Pride we've seen, which is actually turned out to be a cool card. I don't remember if we've seen any Bravery, but it's definitely got value. I like Armor of Valor. We've seen Soulfire and James plays. We've seen the Dragon Divinity mount for Demona. So we've seen all the uniques. We've seen the books. Yeah, I can't think right now of. I think there's maybe one other card we haven't really seen too much of. Intercession. We haven't really seen that. So hmaster attaches Mark to Linus, swings the ping from the Terra Hatchling, kills it, and because it's also got the fire adaptation and the divine, it is now threatening the stag mount. Very cool play. I mean, he's all in on dice and cards, but that was a really nice play, and it's actually very cool to see the ping with Herald being used to take out these two lifers while also threatening something else. That's really nice. And he still is threatening to remove the stag for virtually nothing. And then at least 2 more damage. So he's evening up the board and the life total. And this is what I meant by you gotta be careful with Herald. See, this all came down to not just killing off the shield mage earlier, because now it's a lot tougher. You're saving the Hammer Knight. Okay. Saving the Knight so that the mark does not immediately kill it. That's fair. That is fair. And now, well, you're going to at least trade either the stag or the lioness. I'm guessing you swing the stag because you don't care. You want to keep the lioness's stock ability around. What was that? Something. Oh, that was my projector turning off. Doing some home server work today. What we've got? Okay, we got the stag swinging and killing off the other stag, and now this Hammer Knight will just end up getting guarded. The third copy of Piercing Light comes down. Okay, cool. So he had 2 in hand. Maybe he didn't have anything else all that great in hand. I mean, it was the Hammer Knights, 2 Piercing Lights, and the Glory. Was that it? And then the card that came back. Yeah. So I guess he just is looking at stabilizing and the Butterfly Monk and putting pressure next round. Swings. Herald's going to take the 3 to face, and then it's going to be pass. So it's 3 damage, and the board isn't in the worst place. The issue is that the Herald player gets top of round, and the Terra Hatchling is still going to have this fire adaptation buff. So he can just kill the Hammer Knight right off the bat. Stock swing the Terra Hatchling at the Hammer Knight, and that's 2 pings and then 2 damage. And you can't stop it, and you're trading for a dice and a half worth of value. Oh, okay. Well, I think maybe he didn't think about the fact that the fire adaptation counts as the buff, and you're trading out the Linus. That to me seems like not a great value. I mean, the Linus already has stock, so I think he just didn't think that through. Probably a little antsy, like I just have to remove the Hammer Knight because I don't want to get pressured again. But yeah, you gotta math those things out. If Dell also recognized the fact that that was a slight misplay, then you can at least be a little bit happy that it was a value trade. Trading the lioness for Hammer Knight when you already got your 3 damage in is way better. Shepherd, I wonder if he's going to pull the Hammer Knight back. No, he pulls back Fire Archer, so he's going to start pushing burn damage, especially because he hasn't even used Exhume yet. But Fire Archer and Exhume is at least 2 damage. That puts him down to 6. I don't know if he's running any Molten Golds, but that would be, 5 damage this round. And if he can pressure a single guard from this tag mount with a Divine buff, that's game. Let's see. We've got second Piercing Light is down now 2 for hmaster. I don't think he's going to be able to race, though. That is the issue. Every swing now threatens 3 damage, either by taking the guard or by losing your unit. So, what do you do? Molten and Fire Archer wins the game. Is that what he's going for? Did he do the math? We've not seen Consume Soul yet. And running 8 Divine, it's not unlikely that he has some heal in there. So, a Consume Soul and a heal, and all of a sudden you're up back to 9. You're out of reach from the burn plays. I think you're still in a bit of a tricky spot with the Winged Lioness and the Butterfly Monk equally putting Rowan out of reach. Light Swordsman. There we go. We had to see one. I mean, I was surprised we actually didn't see it round 1, but Light Swordsman comes down. It's not Divine buffed, so, whatever. But I think he's just going to swing at face. Swings both. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, you're threatening to end the game, so they have to guard, and the swordsman's going to get its value. You don't want to use the shield mage. So he's going to okay. He's going to exhaust the shield mage, so he doesn't value that that ability. Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. So he takes no damage, exhausts the shield mage, loses the shepherd. He still has that fiery bird. Well, I gotta say, folks, when you're watching this, know that I'm here lonely. I'm missing all of you, all the super fans that normally join. I guess I can't actually do anything tomorrow because, like I said, I'll be camping, but who knows? Maybe Friday, maybe Sunday, we'll do a stream if anyone wants to play. If it's late night and I get home in time, let me know. Send me a DM, ping me in Discord. I still have to get my game against Killer Cactus, so we could always stream that game. Although I don't know who's going to commentate. All right, hmaster played the glory. Dell is now meditating another frog. There we go. Love the frogs. My only issue is if you think you're going to close this out, you probably wanted to at least meditate the frogs earlier to avoid your side action sort of exhaustion. Okay, so it doesn't have the Molten Gold finish. It also just gives you then the flexibility of doing a frog ping, for something like this where you could stop them out. You're also not facing, in theory, the Herald could have hollows because he's got the one sympathy, but realistically, you're not facing any spin down. So I think this is one of those games where you have to assess what you're facing and just say, yeah, I'm going to meditate early. And that way, if I need to divine buff something or frog ping or play a light swordsman or do the stag mounts, my side actions are all free. Something always to consider is what you're facing and whether there's a threat of revealing too much information. If you're on a thin color spread, you know, a single meditation reveals more than if you're on 8 dice and you meditate 1 or 2. If you plan on drawing, then meditation might be like aggressive early turn 1 meditation might not be the right play because you want to keep the possibility of drawing into whatever it is, your focus books. Or if you're facing illusion, you know, then it's also probably something where you don't want to rush it. But yeah, this is not one of those cases. So we've got the mount on hmaster's side covering up the glory.
I'm sorry, shit. I'm sorry.
I gotta go. Be right back. Sorry, everyone. This little guy just woke up. Had to make sure I got him. Del meditates away a Silver Paladin. So he is running those, which makes sense. To get another frog. And what did I miss? Just the mounting. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. That's good. So now the Terra's going to clean up the stag. And let's see. What can the Rowan do to really even up the board here? I mean, he's threatening game off of almost any overkill damage. He just needs to keep the Linus down, but his guard, he broke his guard really early. And now he can't protect anything because the Butterfly Monk is exhausted from the swing. Yeah, I don't know. He does have top of round, which is fine. He's still got the Fire Archer in hand. So there's at least 1, potentially 2 damage this round just from the exhumed Fire Archer. You could also sort of like swing if the Herald doesn't want to guard with his mount, takes the damage, frog pings it, exhumes it, that's 3 damage, and then he likely wins. I don't think the Herald can do enough this round. I mean, he too can just mount, divine buff one of his units and push 3 damage across. Ooh, that's actually nearly lethal. Divine buffed swordsman will put down 3 damage because now the hmaster's got his piercing lights. And then the stag will get 2 through. This is close. Okay, Del plays Discovery, his second Discovery. I missed the first one. Maybe that's what I missed while I bumped up. Oh, wait. Yeah. Missed the Discovery. I know. This game's almost over, so it'll be fine. Okay. We got a new shed installed today, And while we were clearing out some of the area, we found a dead raccoon, so that's all fun. But we have a nice fancy shed now that we can actually store garden tools instead of in our living room. Right, we've got Dell playing Shepherd of Lost Souls to bring back another fire archer. And that overkill damage has really evened up the game. So in this case, the Sonic's just going to swing at, say, the Shepherd and exhaust the Fire Archer, so it can't do anything. Wonder, he's got nothing else in hand. And then he's down a few units. He does have top around, though. So let's see. Oh. Okay. Oh. Hey, bud. You can't, no, can't grab that. Can't grab that. You can say hi to everyone. Can't grab that. All right. I mean, now you just play. I think you just exhume for one more damage. He's got no card left. There's no reason not to. You're still. Oh, actually, no. You know what? You got to get rid of that Terra Hatchling. That Terra Hatchling ruins your ability, I think, to win the game next round. And actually could lose you the game because you're going to look at a swing of 6 and there's at least 3 overkill. And the Hatchling takes care of one of those units. Does he? No. Oh, that was a mistake. No. Dell, no. Should have killed off the Terra Hatchling. Can he win it? I know he was thinking about the Red Rains, but he didn't think that the. Because he's not first player, the recover doesn't have. That's what he was thinking. Okay, I understand the mistake there. Yeah. The recover for your opponent happens before Red Rains if you don't have the first player token. Ooh. That's an unfortunate mistake. Because he could have cleaned up the Terra Hatchling and the Stag Mount in one go. Oh. That's a bummer. Okay, but he's got a Frog Ping. That's good, so you can at least clean up the Stag Mount. You're going to take 3 damage no matter what. But then you could counter swing for the win. Yeah, and all you have to do is exhume and Fire Archer and then recur and play it again. That could happen. But see, if he'd exhumed last round, then he gets him down to 2, then he threatens Fire Archer. Yes, thank you, buddy. Then he threatens the Fire Archer play with the threat of Frog Ping Exhume on turn 2. Whereas now, because he's 3 damage away, he can't do that. So it's not as ideal. I mean, obviously doesn't have Molten Gold, otherwise that's what he would have done instead. Plays Fork Lightning. Okay. Doesn't really do much. Do you want to be a star? A streaming star? Yeah? Do you want to say hi to the Ashes people? Say hi to Charlotte and Fred and Fritz and Carl and Brian and Shadow. No? Say hi to Dell, hmaster? Nothing. No? That's okay. No commentary yet, folks. I'm missing my co-hosts. Don't have Killer. Don't have Shmenny. And this little guy is just not there yet. Yeah, I know. It looks fancy, but you can't touch. So let's see. How does win this, and how does hmaster win this? I mean, he can put 3 damage across. Ooh, Silver Paladin. Nice. Now that's looking rough. Yeah. So what I would do is I would meditate up the frog ping. Okay. Should have meditated up a frog ping, because then you frog ping and swing, and that's lethal. Because even though he would heal 2, you'd be hitting for 7. Oh, it's almost lethal. You'd hit for 7, and he would have healed 2, so you'd be at 8. Yeah, but I think you're probably closer. The other option is Okay. I'm sorry. He still has to divine buff the Sonic. Sorry, I didn't think about that too. He still wants to do that. All right. So we've got Dell playing a little bit more conservative, like just putting some bodies in the way. He's got the stag down. So now if the stag dies, he's got the fire archer win. He's also got the healing for the end game, and he's got the threat of just swinging at anything, basically. I'll be right back again. Hopefully you don't miss it. Oh, he's swinging right away. Oh no, that's a hmaster swinging the paladin. Gonna get his 3 damage in. The stag blocks. That's game. Fire archer now will come down for the win. Very nice. Okay. So it worked out in the end. I think there were mistakes on both sides in terms of the sequencing of certain things and forgetting the nuances of the ordering and sequencing of certain plays. hmaster definitely had an opportunity to win there. Dell definitely had a chance or two to not make it, to not not sequence the right way, but he definitely outplayed round 1. He got a huge leg up, and that was a fun game. That was really cool to see on both sides. 3 piercing lights both ways, and they actually did have value. 3 damage at least a piece, maybe 6 damage on each side. All right, well, I've got a baby, and no one else is here, so congrats to Dell on winning round 4. And I gotta go. This little guy needs some time to play. Thanks everyone for watching, and have yourselves a great rest of the week. Frog up, and if you're not janky, you're stanky. Ciao.